cherish all the time you spend, you tuned in too. It's time again to cherish all the time you spend, you tuned in too. It's the number one podcast. The topics of discussion when we broadcast. So all them artificial man jokes, we do it natural from the concrete to a public standpoint. Real, wherever you from, life is coexistence, but to know the real, you just gotta listen. Wherever you from, life is coexistence, but to know the real, you just gotta listen.
What up, everybody, and welcome to the 52 Scott Podcast. This is For Women Wednesday. I'm your host, Freddie G, joined by my co-host, K Money, Slash, and Comedian 96. Collectively, we are the Mind of Men. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter at 52 Scott Podcast, on Instagram and Facebook, the 52 Scott Podcast, and for all my YouTubers, don't forget to like and subscribe. All right, fellas, before we get started on today's For Women Wednesday topic, I want to acknowledge the female listeners who DM'd us on IG with their opinions on last Wednesday's show, He's Broke, She's Broke. Y'all keep the comments coming. We hear you, and we will address them. In the meantime, do yourself a favor and go back and listen to our previous For Women Wednesday shows. Episode 1, Your Choice in Men is the Reason Why. Episode 2, For Better and For Worse. Episode 3, Women, Why Are You Single? Those episodes were meant to give you a different perspective on heterosexual relationships. If any one of those episodes struck a nerve, you may want to look in the mirror. Now that shit is out the way, right? So, if you're a grown-ass man and a grown-ass woman, I'm going to say something that you probably heard a million times, right? Hell, you probably said that shit yourself. And that is, I can do bad by myself. Today's topic is not just for the women, it's for the fellas too. Most of the time, when someone make that statement, right, it's usually associated with a person viewing another that's not bringing much to the table. Now, although this topic is for the men and women, we are the Mind of Men, so y'all know we're going to be focusing on the women who make that statement. For our male listeners, just put the shoe on the other foot. So with that shit said, fellas, have y'all ever experienced a woman uttering those words, I can do bad by myself?
Yeah, they all gonna say it once in their life, I believe.
Once.
You know.
More than one occasion.
Yeah. I do believe that, and generally that's because of their thought pattern. You know, they can only deal with so much, especially when it comes to something that's affecting them mentally. You know, so they'll just say all kind of stuff, not just that statement. I mean, it's a lot of other stuff they say, not just they can do bad by themselves. They'll go further into it where I can't go, but
Yeah, I know what you mean.
So yeah, they all say it,
I know.
And I mean, I get that, but I could feel the same way about it.
It could go both ways.
Because it could be something that you're doing that I just can't take no more.
Right.
Now what?
So do you think that it's usually associated with finances when somebody say, I can do bad by myself?
Obviously, it would have to, because that sounds like a financial situation.
Yeah, okay. So this is what I do. You want because this is what I do. I'm gonna put it in I'm gonna do it so it's fair. I'm gonna put it in a woman's perspective, then I'm gonna put it in a man's perspective, right? I can do bad by myself. From a woman, to me it would be finances, right? Some women don't want you laying up in their house and doing this and whatever, and you're not paying no bills. Nothing, always eating on playing the games. And, some women do think, some women that, have some sense, they do think, hey, I can do bad by myself. Now, flip that. Let's go to the men. With men, it's different. It's not finances because we're the providers. With us, it's more when we're younger, we say that I can do bad by myself for other reasons than finance, right? It depends on what age you are when we say that.
So when men say that, give me an example of, like what would make a man say that?
The deal. I call it the deal. It's a deal. Is it a deal that I'm willing to accept? It has to be a deal that I'm willing to accept. So, golly, put it to you this way. If I'm with a woman for a period of about 8 years, right? Let's take me out of the equation. Let's just say 10 years. Let's take someone else. Just say, don't take me out of the equation.
Another male.
Just say another male. Just say a male. If a male is making, just say he's making $120,000 a year, right? And he's with a girl over a potential 9 to 10 years. That's $1 million he has given to her. Now, if that female is not doing the things she's supposed to do to make, it's got to be an even. The exchange has got to be worth it.
Right.
If it's not worth it, and over an 8, 9, 10 year period, I can give you over $1 million. I can do better by myself. I can, anything I need, I can go buy it. But if you're not in my corner 100%, like I want you to be, I'd rather do bad by myself. That's the way a man think.
Now,
it's not finances. It's just as a female. If you're a good support system.
I don't think guys think that way at an early age.
Not at an early age. Not at an early age.
you
At the
mentioned
age we're at now.
You're right.
Yeah.
Exactly. I
Yeah.
totally agree with what
That's
you're
why I
saying.
say at an early age, we can say I do bad by myself for other reasons. Not to be talked about on the show. That's never mind, let me stop. But as younger, it's different. It's more the lines of,
Well,
you
I
ain't
just-
got, if you can't do nothing for me, then ain't nothing. It's more, I hate to say it, it's kind of,
No, our priorities just not in order at that
Right.
early age. So
Right.
we just not on that level,
Level.
thinking that level, thinking that
Correct.
way. In my opinion,
exactly. If you're not,
But, a female will throw that at you, in them early relationships. Though.
yeah, yep.
So y'all remember when you were in elementary school, right? And you would have these different subjects because you'd be in one classroom, you have these different subjects, right? But for some reason, your mama always went to the conduct portion of the report card. She'll look at that first
Yeah.
before she look at the actual grade.
How did you act?
And so usually it'll have a box that says doesn't work well with others. Doesn't play well with others, right? So could it be that a person who's saying that I can do bad by myself, that they haven't acquired the skills to work well with others?
Yeah.
And they don't know how to operate in a household when things doesn't go their way.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, that's a possibility, I mean, I can see that. I get what you're saying,
But if that's the case, then I'm that I would have to look back at the home training. You
Right.
know, they got away with a lot.
Yeah, it starts in the home.
Man, you hit home on something. Off topic, you just made me remember how many whoopings I used to get on my report card because I first get the whoopings for those ends I had in conduct, and then I get whoopings for the grades. I'm sorry, man. You just hurt my heart with that.
So you had women to tell you that she could do bad by herself.
in the 4th grade, yeah.
That is stupid, man. So, all right. With that being said, let me ask you this question. Do y'all believe that the lack of communication can cause someone to get angry and tell you that they can do bad by themselves?
The lack of communication.
Yeah, the lack of communication.
I don't know.
Like it sparks up an argument. Like you come home and something's not paid.
Mm-hmm.
Something's not paid.
But that's financial again now.
And something's not paid, right? And it's not paid. Not so much as that the money isn't there. It's just that, hey, I was counting on you to do it.
Right.
I was counting on you to pay it. Now we got this late fee. Mm-hmm. And then they turn around and, shit, well, I can do bad by my goddamn self. I cannot pay the bills my damn self. I left you here to do the goddamn bills.
Exactly.
And then somebody turn around, the other party turn around, wait a minute, you ain't tell me I had to pay this?
Okay. Yeah.
Or even worse, I hate it when it's situational. Say you with somebody, you dating somebody. Say you've been with them 6, 7, 8 months. You didn't pay the car note. I mean, not car note. Man, you ain't that far yet. Say you pay the phone bill on time, right? And then say a light bill is due. You knew nothing about it, right? Now, you've been paying the phone bill on time. You knew nothing about the light. And they come to you and be like, maybe I need to pay that right now. Well, I ain't know nothing about it. I ain't got the whole whatever, such and such. Well, this type of stuff, I'm right here. This is what I don't like right here. I can just do bad by myself. Well, you knew the damn light bill was... Never mind. I'm sorry. I got hot real fast. I'm sorry.
There are some women that have girlfriends. And their girlfriends will actually say, girl, if you got a man, you shouldn't be struggling.
Yeah.
Oh, they all see it. Mm-hmm. They parents tell them that.
Now, not knowing that when they got with this man, he may have had a job and doing something, but he went through a rough patch or he's experienced a few obstacles his way, having some bad luck.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Do you think that a woman should be, for lack of better words, shitting on him to her girlfriends?
No. Not
saying
at all.
that
No.
now this nigga he's struggling and shit. I can do
Not
bad
at
my
all.
goddamn self. He can't go find a job. When you got with him, he had a job.
Yeah.
But now you gossiping with your girlfriends, and your girlfriends telling you that well, if you got a man, y'all should be struggling.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But she's not defending her man. She's kind of rolling with the girlfriend. Yeah, because girl, shit, he ain't been working for three weeks or 3 months. Exactly. I can do bad by my damn self.
Nah, she shouldn't be making excuses for him, but she definitely shouldn't be
talking to him.
Yeah, piggybacking off her.
About their relationship. That's why so many problems out here now, because people go around talking their business to their girlfriends.
Facts.
And now it's a beef between that. But you told these people your business. Yeah. They wasn't really worried about what you was talking about. You offered this information to these people. So yeah.
Yeah, and I hate it too because it is, again, that's another situational because say you've been with a woman or vice versa, man, or no, just should be you've been with a woman, no vice versa. But you've been with a woman and you've been paying the bills for, say you pay all the bills for 4, 5 to 6 months, and then you do, like you say, hit a rough patch. It's like all is forgotten what you did 4 years prior.
Amnesia, huh?
Boy.
Yeah, go away.
It's like, damn, you gonna talk.
It all go away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It don't take but one, I can't pay the bill till this relationship is over. And it would go back to that your previous show, for better or for worse. And it's always, if it's better, then it's cool. Once it get worse, there is no worse. It's out. I'm out. Yeah, for better or I'm out. That's what we should have called that show.
Once
for better
you've
or
seen
I'm out.
that second person at that angle or from that, type of light, a negative type of light, it's almost kind of like, I don't even know who you are anymore.
Yeah.
So yeah, I can't do this. Mm-hmm. And I think that happens a lot in a lot of relationships. A lot of relationships don't last long because of that. Yeah. It's always something there.
Run out of money if you want to.
Yeah. And when it come down to finances, it's definitely done. When it get to that point, you might well just
you're out of there.
Yeah, you're out of there then. So
yeah.
I think a lot of times with relationships, as the relationships evolve and go a little bit further, neither one of the parties, well, it may be one party or both, they don't allow each other to change. people change in relationships. You're not going to be the same. If you're the same person you were at the beginning of the relationship, there's no problem.
Yeah, no.
Hopefully you've grown. And so when you're in a relationship and situation and circumstances kind of contribute to the change, the last thing you want to do if you're a couple and you're trying to build something together is actually shit on each other, you know, or say, well, I could do bad by myself, because really it's simple math.
Right.
Let me tell you what I mean by simple math. At the beginning, I brought my number one to the table. You brought your number one to the table. We build, and now we have two. Well, if I'm bringing number one to the table and you bringing zero to the table, well, I can do bad by my goddamn self. We ain't making two.
Yeah.
So, and then sometimes we can each bring one to the table to make two. And then situation and circumstances may happen, and then it forces one of the parties to drop down to zero.
Right.
Well, if you know he or she brought something to the table to make that the 1 and 1 plus 2, and now you down to 1 because somebody fell off, don't shit on them and say I can do bad by myself. You know that person didn't come to the table lazy or jacked up.
It's just one of them things right now. It's just one of them times. Money is tight.
Yeah.
You know, and they can't accept that. You know, now how long the money tight makes a difference.
So should it ever be said?
Well,
Is there
I know that I understand your question. So I think in the heat of an argument, sometimes the slip of the tongue is being said, right?
Yeah, all the time.
I understand that, and I get that part. And sometimes it comes out of frustration. But if you know the character of your mate, if you know the character of your mate, and your mate is just going through a rough patch or a rough season,
right? You know that automatically,
and you know that she trying to do her best,
right?
Or he's trying to do his best. Then I don't think we should be saying words to unconsciously,
right,
even tear that person down,
even
because they already fucked up that they can't bring what they bring to the table,
right?
And now you just tearing them down.
The pride is already bad right now. And now you kicking me while I'm down.
Like
and that's the mentality you take from a situation like that.
Yeah.
Which is why I say, don't say I can do bad by myself to your relationship partner. Because that's really a horrible thing to do.
Yeah, you actually basically saying I want to break up on the cool.
Yeah, you kind of killing the relationship at this point.
So were you satisfied with the answer to my question? The answer to your question, K Money? Should anybody ever say it?
Yeah, I for the most part, you clarified on how and when it's used, which doesn't pretty much justify it, but I can understand in the heat of the moment, like you say, slip of the tongue. But there are effects, because once it's said, you can't take it back.
Yeah. So, man, before we get out of here, man, at the beginning of the show, I acknowledged the females who DM'd us in IG. And again, y'all keep them coming, man. We really appreciate it and want to know your thoughts. But there's one female I want to give some clarity to. Now, I'm not going to say her name or give her IG handle. If she's listening, she'll know I'm addressing her, right? I'm going to share with you, young lady, 3 definitions. The first definition, bashing. The act of beating, whipping, or thrashing. Unprovoked physical assault against members of a specific group, verbal abuse of a group or nation. The second definition I want to share with you, opinion. A view or judgment formed about something, not necessarily based on facts or knowledge. And the third definition, Constructive criticism, a helpful way of giving feedback that provides specific, actionable suggestions rather than providing general advice. Constructive criticism gives specific recommendations on how to make positive improvement. Constructive criticism is clear, to the point, and easy to put into action. So with that being said, we are the mind of men. Female bashing is not what we do. We share opinions and constructive criticism.
Wow.
This includes another dope episode. Tune in tomorrow for Think Thursdays. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter at 52 Scott Podcast, on Instagram and Facebook, the 52 Scott Podcast. And for all my YouTubers, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. Remember, the only way we grow is if you let them know.